All right, welcome back to another video. Today, this is a little bit different. I'm going to be reacting to / critiquing and analyzing my first time preaching. Now, before anybody starts roasting my speaking skills in the comments, this was on Friday. It's my first time ever preaching, ever. So I know that I looked down at my notes the whole time. I'll kind of tag some things along on the way. But yeah, I just want to react to it. It's only 5 minutes long, so for some context, there was 5 of us and each person had to speak for 5 minutes, so it was roughly like 30 minutes. So my part's only about 5 minutes, but I'll kind of talk a little bit along the way. So like Braden said, my name's Micah. I've been going to Real Life for 13 years, which is crazy. I've been here since the first Sunday. Real Life is my church, by the way. It's called Real Life Church. So I a little bit of a tone switch from Claudia. That was great, by the way. Good job. You need to write a book. I'm serious. So who here has found themselves in a place where you feel like you're doing everything right? You're going to church, to young adults, and listening to worship music, but you find yourself in a place where you feel far from God and you can't stop sinning. And that leads you to getting frustrated and falling into a season of rebellion with the Lord. So first, right off the bat, I say too much, but that's really normal for somebody starting off speaking. Oh well, I'll definitely work on that. I don't think I looked that nervous, but I was pretty nervous. I mean, I was like a normal amount of nervous, but I wasn't like freaking out. This is something that I found in my own life. It was a cycle of feeling like I was doing everything right, and then falling out with the Lord, and it was this cycle of inconsistency. Also, wearing your own merch while preaching is crazy. mmbsmerch.com. What if I told you that the acts of going to church and serving at church and listening to worship music and all of those things, which are great, by the way, aren't what make you a Christian? That's called religion. So I titled the message Religion versus Relationship, so that's just a little bit of context. Also, I know that I'm looking down at my iPad the entire time. The reason for this is because I don't know how to, as soon as I got up there, if I just wrote brief notes, as soon as I got up there, I would forget everything I was going to say. So I pretty much wrote word for word. So that's just something I need to get better at, but again, it's my first time ever preaching. Look at the Pharisees. They were the most religious of all. It was all about works and actions and looking like they followed the Lord. And they were the most sinful of all. In Matthew 23, Jesus said to the crowds and to his disciples, "The Pharisees and the teachers of the law are experts in the law of Moses. So obey everything they teach you, but don't do as they do. After all, they say one thing and do something else." Why? Because it was based off of action rather than relationship. John 4. I think I'm pretty happy with the actual content of what I was talking with. I feel like I picked good verses and I picked good examples and stuff like that. So I am pretty happy with the actual physical content of it. But again, the deliverance could have been better, but cut me some slack. It was my first time. 14:6 says, "I'm the way, the truth, and the life. No one comes to the Father except through me." Notice what he doesn't say. He doesn't say no one comes to the Father except through worship music or church or Christian podcasts. He makes it personal and requires a relationship. So there you go, Braden. He said, "Yeah, appreciate the talk back." That was definitely. See, it's kind of crazy how when I was writing it, I didn't realize the impactful parts, the real good parts. As I was writing it, certain parts didn't stand out more than others. But as I say it out loud, I realize where the strong points are. How do we create this relationship and actually allow God to change us? Reading our Bible. No, I don't. Oh, sorry, I clicked off. I'm an iPad kid. Yeah, I was the only person up there with an iPad. No, I don't just mean doing a Bible plan on our phone. I've tried that. It's not the same thing. I mean really being in the Word and dwelling on it. Joshua 1:8 says, "Keep this book of the law always on your lips. Meditate on it day and night, so that you may be careful to do everything written in it. Then you will be prosperous and successful." The Lord wants us to meditate on it day and night. So this isn't just I love hearing myself mess up words. I said meditate on it. That makes sense. A checkbox thing every night. It should consume our minds and our thoughts. What you think about the most is what you worship. Most people don't want to hear that, but it's true. So there we go. Here's another thing where it's kind of an awkward part where I said people don't want to hear that, but it's true. I physically wrote in my notes, people don't want to hear that, but it's true. So I'm saying it, but it feels like an additional tag, add-on, but I wrote that in advance. So I don't know. I just feel like that kind of doesn't really fit necessarily, but again, always room for improvement. Proverbs 7:1 says, "My son, keep my words and store up my commands within you. Keep my commands and you will live. Guard my teachings as the apple of your eye. Bind them on your fingertips. Write them on the tablet of your heart. Say to wisdom, you are my sister, and to insight, you are my relative. We must write his words on the tablet of our heart. How do we do this? Memorizing scripture. Start small. Just memorize more and more over time. Start with the, kind of the basics, like the important verses, and memorize more and more over time. I feel like that part didn't make sense. That wasn't in my notes. See, this is what I'm talking about. When I try and add something on that's not in my notes, it doesn't make sense. So that's why my notes, I write exactly what I want to say. We must write, I hear people all the time saying, well, I don't have time to read the Bible every day. I'm too busy. And Cameron, what time do you get to work every morning? Cameron gets to work at 6, and he reads his Bible before work every morning. That was awkward. Yeah, I'll admit it. That part was awkward. I wish I hadn't said that. I just feel like I kind of wanted a way to make it personal, incorporate honestly, it was kind of meant as a joke. It just wasn't funny. It's okay. I mean, it happens. We all have air balls here and there, right? But yeah, I don't know. I kind of wish I had left that out. So be like Cameron. So wake up earlier. Cameron, stop packing your schedule so full that you don't get home until midnight. You don't need to see your boyfriend or girlfriend every single day. God's more important. Here's my closing statement. That was funny. We can't expect to look like the Lord if we don't have something's funny in my head, and then I say it out loud, and it's not quite as funny. Relationship with him. Trying to get over habitual sin in your own strength is a waste of time. It won't happen. And we can't have a relationship with the Lord if we don't make time for it. That's it. Yeah, okay. I think that was pretty solid. Definitely going back, if I had to critique myself, I would say the main thing is, learn how to not read word for word off of a paper or an iPad. When you're not looking at the people, there's a disconnect, I feel like. So there's that, and that kind of goes hand in hand with the next thing where it's not looking down at something the entire time, right? I mean, learning how to read off of notes, though, streamline the process of actually making the content, and it would just make it more personal. I think the delivery would be much better because I feel like my tone and stuff is good. I feel like I do say it well for the most part, other than when I don't. But maybe that'll just be my thing. But I feel like I deliver it well, but there's a disconnect when it comes to how I actually say it, how reading off the thing instead of reading off of notes. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. I want you guys to critique me. Seriously, I do. So let me know what you guys think about it. Sorry there was no video on Monday. I was in North Carolina. Follow me on Instagram. If you followed me on Instagram, you would know that I was in North Carolina. But yeah, we're back on normal schedule. The next video is going to be, do Christian influencers condemn too much rather than encouraging? So I'm super hyped to do that one. And yeah, see you guys in the next video. Peace.